Lexi Stewart here, back with another video. I have just finished doing my Dark Witch review, and I thought since I've got the camera on, I might as well do a quick tag video because they're fun. And I came across my first time tag, so I thought I'll do that because it's not too long, providing I don't ramble on. Which is why I've had to redo this video, because I had it at over 30 minutes. Which is just insane. Because most of the time I was telling stories that had nothing to do with the actual question. So I'm going to do this again and keep my answers brief. So yeah. Here we go again. My first tweet. I've just read this and I've already forgotten it. My first tweet was to Kelly Armstrong on the 11th of August 2014, apparently. And it says, at Kelly Armstrong, "Oh, I'm from Scotland, wish you were making an appearance, but hope you have a lovely time, excited to read the next book." So I will quickly explain this, just to explain, what that was about. It's the fact that Kelly Armstrong put a tweet up saying that she was in Glasgow, or was it Edinburgh, I can't remember. But they were like her family, but she wasn't working, she wasn't making an appearance anywhere, she was just there travelling, And that's why I said that I wish you were making an appearance, but hope you have a lovely time. Lovely time. And excited to read the next book is the fact that I hadn't actually long finished reading her book Omens, which was book 1 in the Kingsville trilogy. I think it's a trilogy, or it's the Kingsville series anyway. I'm not actually sure if it's a trilogy. And it's an awesome story, and at that point I was still waiting for it to come out, like the second book to come out. And I still actually haven't got around to getting that yet. I actually forgot about it, which is a good reminder. So yeah, that's what that tweet was about. Question 2, first YouTube video. As I said in my previous video, one of my other accounts was just me making lyric videos, so that would really be my first video. Oh no, what happened to my phone? Okay, anyway. First person you subscribe to on YouTube. Very first person ever would be on my old profile, which I have no idea. I don't even think I subscribed to anyone. So I'm just going to say the first person I subscribed to on this video, this channel would be Adam Waters. First Facebook profile pic. I've got no way to show you, because if I do that you just see white. So I will put the video. Where is my brain today? I will put the photo here now. Do you still talk to your first love? Okay, I will try and keep this brief, but this is my honest answer to this. So, technically I feel like my fiance is my first love because I was 16 when I met him, so any relationship I had before that was not real, and it was just kind of like, I want to have a boyfriend, so I had a boyfriend. I mean, it felt real at the time, especially one of them. I was in love with him for like a long time, or I thought I was. So technically, in my opinion, my fiance is my first love. But I guess back then, the guys I thought I loved felt real at the time. So the point is, I do not see any of my exes to be able to talk to them. But if I did see them, yeah, I'd talk to them, because like I've said in one of my last videos, our relationship ended. It just ended, it ran its course. There was no bad feeling or nothing, so I would have no problem talking to them if I actually saw any of them. I'm trying my best to get through this fast and don't get myself flustered. What was your first alcoholic drink? It was most probably, I can't remember, but it was most probably like a hooch or something. Nah, hooch. What was your first job? Right, my first job, at least one, this is what I can remember anyway. I don't think I had a job before this. It was like 13 or 14, I think. I lived with my dad, so it was about 14. I used to go door to door selling sweets like macaroon bars and tablet bars and stuff like that. It was mostly to old people. They bought most of the stuff. So yeah, that was my first job. I have no idea what you would call it. sweetie distribution, or I don't know. Your first car. I don't drive. I wish I could. I want to learn, but it costs too much to learn. It costs too much to buy a car, and it costs too much to maintain it, and fuel it and stuff. So yeah, I've lost my place. First car. What was the first person? No, who was the first person you texted today? It was my other half, my fiance. Who's the first person you thought of this morning? That would be my fiance again. And it was actually this afternoon because I think, yeah, I posted on Facebook about 6 o'clock or 6 whatever this morning saying I couldn't sleep. And so I kind of slept in quite late today. I woke up and he was just gone. I was like, where is he? And then I realised what the time was and I was like, oh, he's at work. Anyway, who was your first grade teacher? Now, I explained this in my last video, but I made it such a long story. I will try and explain what this confuses me because in Scotland, because I think even England has a different school grading system. But anyway, in Scotland you have nursery or preschool or kindergarten, what you want to call it. Then you have primary 1 to 7, and primary 7 you're like 11 to 12 years old, depending, what time of the year your birthday is at and stuff. So you're like 11 or 12 years old. Then you go to high school. And you go to first year, second year, third year, fourth year of high school. So when you're like 16, 17, whatever, And then you leave school unless you choose to stay on until like fifth year and sixth year. And then you leave school 18, but most people leave school at 16 over here. Or they did when I went to school. So I'm going to guess that first grade means your first year of school, which would be our primary 1. If I'm wrong, I apologise, but that's just the way it's coming across to me. So my answer would be, I don't remember. I remember my primary 2 teacher was what's her name? Mrs. Gordon. She was really nice. And then my primary 3 teacher was Mrs. Ewart. It's like Stuart, but without the ST. And she was a bitch. She was Irish, and she was just a bitch. I'm not meaning like she was a bitch because she was Irish. I love Irish people. I have Irish family, so I wasn't meaning nothing bad about Irish people there at all. I was just stating the fact that she was Irish. She was just a complete and utter bitch. She was quite old, or she seemed quite old to me at the time anyway. And I know a lot of people say, oh, my teacher has it for me, but she generally did hate me for some reason. Even my mum. She hated my mum as well. I have no idea what the hell her problem was. But anyway, I don't remember my primary 1 teacher though. But I remember my 2 and 3. And I can't remember. Oh, my primary 4 teacher was Mrs. Watson, and she left to be a police officer. Random fact. Anyway, rambling again. Where did you go on your first ride on an airplane? I've never left the country, so I've never been on an airplane. Who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? Now, I went into a huge long story about this before because I had a stalker, and if you look up my name on Facebook, you'll see I've had many different profiles because she keeps finding me. But I'm not going to go into that story. If you're curious enough to know, ask me and I will tell you, but I'm not going to go into it here because it took up too much time. Anyway, she was really creepy, and I've had to change many profiles, and my last profile I had my first best friend who was Amanda on it, but we hardly spoke, so when I had to change profiles I didn't bother re-adding her because I didn't think it was much fun of adding someone who doesn't talk to you. There. Anyway, where was your first sleepover? My first sleepover was probably at my uncle's because me and my cousins, like their dad and my mom are brother and sister. And we, as in me and my cousins, were more like siblings. Like I was more like their sister than just their cousin, because I'm an only child on my mum's side. So yeah, we were so close. We done everything together, and I was always at their house, so they were always staying over at mine. So yeah, I was most probably staying over at my uncle's, having a sleepover with my cousins. What was the first thing you did this morning? Same thing I do every morning. I make warm lemon water because I've read that it helps kickstart your digestive system, so when you go to have your breakfast, your body's ready to digest it in the correct way. Same as my apple cider vinegar. I have 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar mixed in with a small drop of apple juice just to make it taste decent. Down it. And ever since doing that, I have been losing. Well, obviously I'm doing exercising as well. I work out every day. But since doing that, I've almost lost a stone in 3 weeks. Last week, like last Thursday, which is my weigh-in day, I hadn't lost anything, which is okay because at least I hadn't gained it again either. So, but I mean, almost a stone in 3 weeks is not bad for a start, you know. I've only been doing this since the 1st of January, so I think whatever they're doing, they're helping me lose weight. So I'm gonna keep doing them. What was the first concert you ever went to? The first and only concert I've ever been to, which was back in 2008, was Slipknot, with guests Machine Head and Children of Bodom. Sorry. It was epic. Me and my fiance went because he wasn't long out of hospital. He had to have an operation. It was a few months after, you know, he was healed, and I thought, you know, he'd been through a lot. He almost died. He kind of accidentally OD'd on morphine because they gave him that thing where you click it yourself, and he clicked it too many times, and he was in ICU and everything, and yeah, his lungs collapsed. He almost died. It was just an awful time, so I thought he deserved something good, and I knew Slipknot were coming to the UK for a tour, so I bought his tickets, and it was amazing. I've lost my place. Oh, there we go. First broken bone. I've never broke a bone. I've never even fractured a bone. The worst thing that's ever happened to me is in my car accident, I had bruised tissue in my wrist. That was it. I've got plenty of scars because I was a clumsy child. I've got that scar. Where is it? There. Don't know if you can see that a little. There. That was because I was racing my mom upstairs. Stone, concrete stairs, might I add. I was stairs leading to our house. I was racing her up the stairs and I kind of misjudged the step and smacked into the corner of the step. And it hit my face. I've also got a scar on my forehead. Again, if I remember correctly, I was running upstairs. I've got a scar on my knee from chasing a cat. I fell in the gravel, tore my knee open. I've got a scar on my other leg from the old style kind of heavy set metal toolboxes. My dad's dad, I don't call him granddad, but my dad's dad had his out in our back garden, and I walked past it, obviously a bit too close, and it tore my leg. Like the corner of it tore my leg. So yeah, I was very clumsy. I walked into walls, I walked into bins, I tripped over nothing, my own feet I guess. I was very clumsy, but I've never broke a bone. First piercing. My very first piercing was just my ears. My mum had my ears pierced when I was a baby. And then after that, the first piercing I chose to get on my own was my nose. I've had it since I was 14. First foreign country you've gone to? Well, that's kind of the same question as the airplane one, because the first ride on an airplane generally would be to another country. I suppose you can just randomly go around a plane if you want, but to me that kind of is the same question, and it's the same answer. I've never left this country. First movie you remember seeing? This probably isn't the first movie I watched, but like the question says, it's the first one I remember seeing, and that's Charlotte's Web, the cartoon, not the god-awful human version with Dakota Fanning. I hate that. I watched it because I love Charlotte's Web so much. So many childhood memories, and it was just awful. I love the cartoon. I wanted to like just put my hand in a TV and take Wilbur out. It was awesome. I loved Wilbur. And even though I'm scared of spiders, I loved Charlotte. And our babies were so cute for being spiders. When was your first detention? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was an awful person at school. Like, not person, but student, you know. Me and my friend just carried on. And, yeah, I had lots of detentions for many different reasons. Mostly it was just me and my friend were not paying attention and having a laugh and a joke in class and disobeying the teacher, and we got detention quite a lot. So I can honestly not pinpoint my very first detention. But yeah, anyway. Who was your first roommate? Well, technically, I started going out with my fiance when I was 16, as I've said several times now, and I also moved in with him after only 2 months of dating. Yeah, we moved fast. But hey, it worked out. Anyway, so yeah, I moved out when I was 16 and started living with my fiance, and so I've never lived with friends until 2011, where me and my fiance moved in with my best friend Leah and her then boyfriend for 6 months, but then they split up, so it kind of, it didn't last long. So technically my first roommate would have been my best friend Leah. If you had one wish, what would it be? Okay, this is probably really like a selfish wish, because I know a lot of people would say to wish someone better, or I don't know, just selfless. But I'm gonna be selfish because it's the one thing I want. If I had one wish, I would wish that I never had PCOS, because it's ruining my life. It's ruining my health. It's ruining everything. It's just an awful thing to live with. I mean, it has so many symptoms which suck, like weight gain. I mean, I was big before I had PCOS, but it's after PCOS that I really put the weight on, and now it's so hard to get it off. I have guess it's kind of embarrassing, but I'm telling this story. So I have excess hair growth because my hormonal balance. I have anxiety and depression, which, okay, I admit, was there before the PCOS, because just from my past, but PCOS kind of makes it worse, and all that could be, all that I can deal with. I mean, it's not fun, it's not good, it's not easy, but I can deal with it. But the one thing I can't deal with is the fact that it's making me infertile. No, I'm not infertile because it's possible to have a kid, but it's difficult. And when you know that your mum, who is the one of 5 children, is the only one who hasn't got a grandchild and really wants one, she doesn't pressure me or nothing, but I know she really wants a grandchild, and I know my fiance wants to be a dad one day, and I want to be a mum one day, and just to know that might not ever happen, not naturally anyway. I mean, I know there's options, but it's just, I want to be able to go through the pregnancy, feel the baby, even though I know probably during labour I'll probably not saying that, but it's an experience I want to have, and I might not ever get that. I might not be able to, naturally give my fiance a baby and my mum a grandchild and myself a child, and it's just, that does actually tear my heart apart. So for that reason, I'm going to be selfish, and if I had one wish, it would be to wish that I never had PCOS and I could be healthy. So yeah. Anyway, that was quite depressing. What was the first sport you were involved in? The first sport I was probably involved in would probably be something like dodgeball, if that's a real sport, or badminton, because those are the things we played in school, for PE and stuff like that. So that would be one of my first sports. What's the first thing you do when you get home? I take off my shoes and more often than not my socks. My house is supposed to be a no shoes on, but nobody ever listens to me, so yeah. I just don't like shoes on in the house. I just don't feel comfortable. Shoes are an outdoor thing, not an indoor thing. No, I just read that one. And last question, when was your first kiss? Technically, I guess it was when I was 7. It wasn't like a proper kiss, but there was this boy I liked, and I guess he liked me because he kissed me when I was like 7. Like I said, it wasn't exactly a proper kiss. It was weird and awkward and just, yeah. But it was a kiss all the same, so I was 7. So that's 20 minutes again. I cut it down 10 minutes, that's not bad. Anyway, I'm going to just say that I tag Adam Waters, SJ Littlewood, and Abby Marie should you so wish to do this tag. I will put the link below for the questions, and until my next video, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, whatever it is where you are. Goodbye.